I'm thinking it may let me do it now. Wait on y'all to come back in. Okay, there's 5 of you. All right, so it's okay now, Captain Catastrophe. Okay, good. I think I may have figured out the secret to that. Of course, totally by accident. All right. Going to be a little different break on through today. I'm going to try something different. And I'm doing this because of some emails and texts that I received, over the last couple. Hey, Teresa. I thought you were still mad at me. Okay, maybe not. So you got this sound. Let me see. I'm wide open, Hoss. Something on your end. Everybody hear me okay? Oh, yeah, Woody. After what I just did, I'm not touching anything. See, I got to have a lot of space right here today, because I got a lot of stuff to show you. Let's scoot back a little bit. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's some good filming right there, bum. Damn. What a week. What a fucking week. What a week it looks like this is going to be. Oh, well. Let's just slip on into a little break on through and just forget it for a little bit. How about it? Sound good? Dina Sods is here. All right. On the water this time. I think I'm going to give up on the Coke Zero. It's my favorite drink in the world. I wish I didn't have to drink it. I wish I just had an IV of it. But it ain't good for us old folks. Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate everybody showing up early. A bunch of you here now. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Man, I had a good mail day yesterday. I got a package from a childhood friend of mine. His name is Glenn Watterson. And guess where he lives? Oh, you give up already? Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Oh, yeah. See, Glenn and I are Air Force brats, and our parents were friends, and they, apparently my dad and his dad got stationed a lot of places together, and after they were out of the Air Force, we would still get together, the families, in the summer. Well, Glenn writes me, and he's like, "Hey, man, what size shirt you want?" And y'all know me. JC. I wear a men's shirt in size 2X. I don't wear children's sizes like medium, large, XL. Some of you still wear the shirts from your youth. But those of us who crossed the line into adulthood, we had to go into adult sizes. But and I know, okay, Glenn, you're in Point Pleasant. You're asking me about shirts, and I know what it's going to be. I know what it is. Damn if it wasn't. And I think this could be one of the baddest ass Mothman t-shirts I have ever seen. Look at there. That is something. Now, I don't see Glenn on here. But you know, the number that you see up there, that's just the people that come in to Break On Through. People can still watch without coming in. And by the time we finish here, I'll look at the views, and it's like 1,000. So, yeah, I'm going to give y'all one more look at it. I'm sorry, I don't have the package with me that this came in. But I'm thinking Glenn's wife runs a boutique or something up around there. And next week, I will definitely give you the name and any address that if you dig these, maybe you can hit them up and get one from them too. Helping those independent businesses. You ain't gonna find this at Target. You ain't gonna find this at Walmart. I'm gonna go to Target. I'm gonna go to Walmart and get a Mothman shirt. No, you're not. You're not gonna find one there. Not gonna be there. Yeah, I told you it's going to be a little different show. A lot of you wrote me and said, hey man, you mentioned Garland Green on your show last week, and this week all I've been doing is listening to some Garland Green. I really like that stuff. And you know, it's not like I'm Mr. I know every obscure artist and music guy, but I know some, and I'm a big fan of some that really didn't make it to the mainstream, and or if they did, it was only for a minute, and they continued to put out a very impressive catalog, even though the stuff never charted. But you know how the music business works. It's not, stuff don't chart, you know, because it's fantastic. But anyway, an artist that I've been collecting for a while, she didn't have a big output of music, Miss Gwen McCrae. Her biggest hit was Rockin' Chair. And she's part of that Miami sound, which also had Betty Wright, Casey and Sunshine Band. You know, people want to say, "Oh, that's just disco." No, it was before disco. Gwen's husband, George McCrae, also had a career of his own. He had a big hit called "Rock Your Baby." "Rockin' Chair" was the response song. You know, there was always, especially back in the 60s and 70s, someone would put out a song, and then somebody else would put out a response. Well, they were a married couple. They did this. They did an album together called Together. And one thing really interesting about this record, man, every song on this record is written, okay, all but one, is written by my old buddy, Clarence Reed. Blowfly wrote all but one song on this album. So, you know, if you enjoy the Blowfly connection, if you, I mean, this stuff doesn't have the campiness of Blowfly, but Clarence was involved in some really, really good R&B artists, and in my opinion, Gwen McCrae was one of those. And you know, even her records that did go into the disco era, what I've heard, what I have and have heard so far is really good. But all right, that's the turn on artist for the week. Gwen McCrae, Rockin' Chair. biggest hit, Rockin' Chair. All right. I've been in talks with Miss Janice Blythe. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, she is the actress that played Ruby in The Hills Have Eyes and in The Hills Have Eyes 2. Hills Have Eyes 2 is what inspired me to write Ruby, Ruby, Get Back to the Hills. I am going to be the moderator of her public, I think it's public persona, public person page, because I've been trying to talk her into, because she's out in California, man, and they are on lockdown. She ain't doing nothing. Something that can help her connect with her fans. I don't know, maybe offer some of her autographed photos for people. Because, man, when I showed my collection on here one time, I got a lot of emails about that, a lot of text and stuff. Like, hey, man, but I'm not gonna give her personal address out. But maybe when we get this page going, where she can just concentrate on her career stuff. On that, maybe that will be something that will be offered fairly soon. So, if any of y'all are interested in that, she played in more than just Hills Have Eyes. She was in Eaten Alive, The Incredible Melting Man. She had a cameo, a small part in the Phantom of the Paradise. And there's a few others I'm leaving out at the moment, but yeah, if you guys would be interested in participating, I'm gonna send everybody out invites, but please do. Maybe we'll put movie posters up on the page. Maybe everyone can comment about what they liked about those films and stuff. But it sounds like I'm going around and around, but I'm actually coming right back to something. Today I'm going to be talking about soundtracks. Now, I got a pretty good collection of soundtracks, but I only brought a few to talk about today. One in particular, my buddy that's on here right now, Captain Catastrophe, the world's greatest stuntman. Performed live on stage with ANTiSEEN so many times. Over in Europe, people think he's the fifth member. They stop him in the streets all the time for autographs and pictures and stuff. And like, if you ever see any pictures of us from Europe and there's a guy on stage on fire, well, that's him. But we're always keeping each other, caught up on what we see out there. And he sent me this Sunday before last, and man, price unseen, I had to get it because this is from one of my favorite films of all time. Children shouldn't play with dead things. I know it's backwards. Put your phone up to a mirror if you can't handle it. Do what you got to do. Does anybody know about this? There's some of you on here I know that know about this. Made in 1973 by Alan Ormsby. It was a low budget film. Being low budget don't mean low quality all the time. I love this movie. I love this movie. This is your zombies come out of the ground and chase people around movie, but in my opinion, it's as good as any of the big three. I know you'll be going, oh, no, Jeff Clayton, it ain't. But you know what? What happened? Let me tell you how I first saw this movie. Children Should Play with Dead. Look at this. Look at this packaging though. It's a tip-on sleeve with a glossy cover. That's the artwork from the movie poster. Right there, it was on the top, and it takes up the whole thing. And yeah, I put my hype sticker right there. I know some of y'all are going, "Oh, you missed it." I don't care. I'll put it right there. But you know why? Because the inner sleeve has all the information about the guy that did this soundtrack. Matter of fact, he wrote these liner notes. So I can't wait to read that. But look at that. Wonderful. Some of these companies that are putting out these soundtrack albums are doing a fantastic job. But let me tell you how I discovered Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Here in the Carolinas, this is back when I was living at home, which was about 45 minutes away from Charlotte. It's in it was in a town called New London. And we were a little outskirt town to a slightly bigger town called Albemarle. Well, one of the benefits of living there in the 70s was we could pick up, we were so far away from Charlotte that we could pick up all the Charlotte TV stations and all the High Point, Greensboro, Winston-Salem TV stations. And, man, there was one on, I'm wanting to think it was called WGHP. And it was out of Greensboro, High Point, Greensboro, Winston-Salem. And every Saturday night they had Shock Theater. They didn't have a host, you know, that was dressed up and did cool stuff like that, like Dead Ernest in Charlotte. But, you know, they had the cool intro with the, you know, bats and haunted house and werewolf and Shock Theater, you know. Well, that was my Saturday night, man. I guess most people were out, you know, doing what teenagers do, but old JC had some good old classic horror movies to watch and study. So I wasn't out doing that gallivanting. Well, man, one night, I've never heard of it, but the TV guide tells me that Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things is going to be on Shock Theater. Well, with a title like that, how could you go wrong, right? Well, man, I fell asleep. Fell asleep before 11:30. But I woke up at about 12:10, 12:15. 12, maybe 12:20. Why did I wake up? Because I think what turned out to be Alan Ormsby's wife, who was an actress in the film too. She's screaming her fool head off, and I'm laying on the floor, you know, blood curdling screams, and I just and what I see is this corpse laying on a couch, pale white. And she's just like apologizing to it. And you're going, God damn, Jeff Clayton, were you taking some acid before you watched it? No. What happened in the movie, they dug this corpse up because they were doing some spell out of some book that was supposed to raise the dead. You know, they were just goofing around. And they had to have a ceremonial corpse. Well, the guy they dug up, his name was Orville. Well, they got him on there, you know, and they're doing you know, a couple of guys are like throwing blankets over his head and saying that, you know, at Christmas time they'll paint him up and say, "Deck the halls with bones of Orville," blah, 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 you know, that kind of stuff. Well, this girl just starts freaking out. you know, and she's telling Orville that they're sorry and they don't mean any harm, you know, just, they want to put him back and all that. Man, by the time they get around to that, oh, it's already too late there, dog. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're coming out of the ground. And, man, this is even more claustrophobic to me. I thought it was more claustrophobic than Night of the Living Dead. Because they had a big old house with a basement, attic, you know, all that stuff. This was a little 2-story house. No basement, no attic that they could get in. And the damn thing looks like it would have fallen down anyway. But, man, when the action starts, it is full blown. And it don't take long to start. It's not one of those movies that takes forever. But, man, I wake up and see that, and then all of a sudden, I'm just like, what the fuck? And then, you know, it shows, you know, the innard eating and the, you know, I mean, you don't see guts flapping around, but you see a lot of blood and stuff. And man, I just remember the soundtrack when it had the corpses coming out of the ground, man. It's just like this noise. And at one time it goes, and I'm like, what the fuck? Sounds like a damn steamboat horn or something. But I love it. And for the first time ever in 40-something years, they finally put the soundtrack on LP. The label that does it, I don't have my reading glasses in here, but I'll see if I can figure it out. Terror Vision. They should have a .com. I imagine this is not going to be the, you know, probably not a very big pressing. But in here, I've brought just a few of my favorite soundtracks I've collected over the years, and a little bit of things to show you. Maybe tell you why I love it so much. We were talking about Janis Blythe earlier. The first connection that I knew that she knew what we did about writing that song came from this right here. That's a LP version of The Hills Have Eyes. It's on One Way Static, which is also part of Light in the Attic records. Now this may be long out of print now, but Janis did the liner notes in here, and in these liner notes she mentions ANTiSEEN and Hank Williams III, because Hank III covered Ruby. And she's talking about, you know, the wide impact that the movie and its characters had on, you know, fans of this stuff. And I got, you know, I was so bummed out at Hills Have Eyes 2 that, you know, I wanted Ruby to still be, you know, in the animal furs and being crazy, but she straightened out. Here's a few more. I brought, this is two of the same thing. This is a great movie. Anybody seen that? This is the original soundtrack that came out, you know, the year that the movie came out. And the movie, the music in the movie is really great. Any version you can find of it. Oh, that was my damn computer. Any version you can find of this soundtrack is going to be good. But a few years back, I got one of these reissues. Look at that. Look at that right there. Beautiful. These labels that this was Death Waltz Mondo. They go through such pains to make these things really, really great. And I appreciate it, for one. But the only thing I didn't like about that Maniac, any version of the Maniac soundtracks, is there's a part in the movie where our maniac guy is taking pictures of these models. Maybe he's not. It's been a while since I've seen it, but they're taking pictures of these models and they're dancing to this song about gonna be a showdown. It's not Yellows and it's not Thin Lizzy's. It's another one. And it's really good, but it's not on any of the soundtracks. But some label out there did a 7-inch of that song, and I have not been able to track that down as of yet. Maybe if some of you soundtrack collectors out there come across an extra, you can let old JC know about it. Another favorite of mine. I got this. Matter of fact, I finally got a copy of this one from Captain Catastrophe from the great country of Belgium. He sent it over to me. He has about, 10 or 15 of them. I don't know. But I got the new reissue. It was a 2-record set, gatefold, nice vinyl, lots of stuff from the movie inside the record, all that kind of stuff. Just one thing. There was a song that was on this record called "The World Inside Your Eyes" that they played as the movie was going off, and it's kind of melancholy. It kind of goes with the whole theme of the movie, and I really liked hearing the song, and it was not on any of the soundtracks except for this one. Now, I don't know if there has been one that's been upgraded even more since the last upgrade I got. I have a hard time keeping up with a lot of stuff anymore. I just don't get online and just look anymore, Too much going on in the world, as they say. This is a favorite film of mine. This one and its sequel, Necromantic 2. German filmmaker. I won't embarrass myself or him trying to say his name, but Butgericht. But these are very disturbing movies. Soundtracks are great. This is the only one I've seen released so far. Man, I'll tell you, there's some parts on here that are a real test of patience. I like that kind of stuff though. But I'm constantly hoping and looking out for them to put out the soundtrack of Necromantic 2, which I think had much better music. And I thought it was the best. It's one of those rare occasions where the sequel, in my opinion, was better than the original. But one thing I liked about all that, when we one of the years we played in Europe, it was our first show of the tour. We were in Berlin, and the main actress that played in Necromantic 2, called our record label, wanted for her and a couple of her entourage to get on the guest list, and they was like, "Oh yeah, you're on the guest list." Did they show up or not? I don't know. I never got introduced to her, but it was cool knowing that they at least wanted to come out to see how you really do it. To see the masters. Love that soundtrack. I got it on CD, but I don't play CDs that much anymore. Sometimes me and the missus will load them up and let them play all day while we're doing stuff around here. But I'm going to close this little section of Break On Through with one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. Why? I don't know. I just love it. I think I love the soundtrack more than I love the movie. And that's saying a lot because I love Hammer movies. I love Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing Hammer movies. And this Hammer movie had Caroline Munro and Stephanie Beckham, which, you know, if it's a Hammer movie, the visuals are going to be fantastic all the way around. But this soundtrack just blew me away the first time I ever heard it. And they finally put it out on LP. And this was Death Waltz Mondo. I don't think this is out of print. I think you can still get that on their website. I know it's backwards, but that's what I'm saying. Mondo and Death Waltz. But man, they did a great job on this. Did some nice orange vinyl. You know, that's old JC's favorite color, orange. I like any orange record. You know, nice gatefold, tip-on sleeves again. No, this is not a tip-on sleeve, sorry. But look, nice picture of Chris and the female cast. Lots of good liner notes. Man, I like when there's a lot of stuff to look at on a record cover. We try to give you that. We try to make sure that when you get our records, there's a lot to read, a lot to look at, a lot to fumble through. But, well, that just about wraps it up today. If you guys got some questions, I'm going to touch the camera. I'm going to touch the damn phone. Let's see what we can, okay. I don't see any. Man, there may be 900 questions lined up in there right now, but I can't see them. And y'all know if I touch the phone, I'm going to throw the whole video off. But, yeah, see, I just see that Shannon Waldronson is watching. Yeah. Let me give y'all one more gander of that Mothman shirt I got from my buddy Glenn Watterson. Man, that's just badass. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you hate the Mothman. That's a damn good shirt. Yeah, Jason, liner notes are good toilet reading. Man, a lot of time, you know, we've got phones now to take with us to the toilet, but man, I'm always bringing a book or a record cover to the toilet. Man, that's where I do my best reading. Got the best lighting in the house. Our house don't have much overhead lighting, only in the dining room and the kitchen and the bathrooms. So we got lamp light everywhere. We buy every one of those kind of 60s and 70s hanging lamps that we can. Got one right here. Let me see if I can pick this up without making a shit ton of disturbing noise. I got this one from my buddy Steve Winslow. Look at that. That is a sight to behold right there, but yes, sir. Yeah, you get a look at the place a little bit. I know some people were asking what that stuff was hanging up back there behind me. Back that way, those are lunch boxes. We got Kiss, Charlie's Angels, Sex Pistols. Rebecca has a really good David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, or Aladdin Sane. Excuse me. And if you like that, let me tell you where you can get you one. Repo Record. You can go in Repo Record today and say, Jimmy Repo, give me a Aladdin Sane lunchbox there, cowboy. You'll be walking out with one. Matter of fact, a bunch of these records, now you know the labels and stuff. You know, if you're not one of them ordering online guys, and if you're here in town, call up old Jimmy Repo and tell him, hey man, I want this record, you know, and he'll do his best he can to get it for you. He'll look it up. He knows how to use a computer. Just be glad old JC ain't having to look it up for you. God almighty. Yeah, and that's another thing I want to talk about. There's just something different I want to talk about. The mail. I'm still getting mail from people saying, hey, I ordered something on December, blah, 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 and it's still... Most of the priority mail has gotten where it is going. The media mail some of your packages could still be stuck in a container somewhere between where I sent it to you and to where you are. All I can say is be patient. You know, if like once it's all squared away and you still don't have it, then we'll work something out, and I'll try to resend anything that that was something I had a lot of copies of. I hate when I sent my main Captain Catastrophe a box full of one of a kind stuff. It ended up in Indonesia. He got in touch with them just the other day. They said, that was an Indonesia address there, partner. It was not an Indonesia address. But it showed movement on December 16th. So it's probably sitting in a mail container somewhere. I don't know, maybe parked in some water with crocodiles swimming all around it and shit. I don't know. But, hey, I'll try to think of something interesting to talk to you guys about every week. And I still encourage you to write me and tell me some things you want to hear about. I don't sit around thinking about ANTiSEEN's conquests all the time. So if there's a certain conquest or a defeat or whatever you want to hear about, and I would suggest contacting me on my personal page, because the Facebook, man, I stumbled upon the messages on the ANTiSEEN page the other day, but it was quite by accident, and I tried to do it again. It was a no-go on that. So yeah, you may have all got, you might be saying, goddamn, I sent this son of a bitch 15 things to talk about. Now he's saying, send me some stuff. But you may have sent it to the ANTiSEEN message thing, and I don't know how to get to it. Malcolm calls me once in a while and says, hey, you got some questions on here, and I'm just like, I don't know how to get to it. Pat saying, Waffle House, yes or no? Yeah, man, Waffle House. When we're traveling with our bunch, with that picky-ass bunch, man, that's about the only place that can accommodate everybody. You know? All the non-meat eaters can eat a big old plate of hash browns or some grits and something, and they're good. But, I don't know, man. I'm going to wrap it up. Cut. I'm wrapping it up. Yeah, it's like, as I said, it's a crappy, crazy week. But I hope everyone still has good stuff going on in their personal life, and don't let that slip away. And there's only one thing left to do before we break on through. Hold your drinks up. Got them up?